Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha Eikev. The question of the week is, why are there Chabads all over the world? So in this week's Torah portion, Parsha Eikev, at the end of the Torah portion, the Torah tells us about the commandment of Kibush Haaretz, conquering the land of Israel. And the Torah sets forth the boundaries and the borders of the land of Israel. But then the Torah says, every single place where your feet will carry you shall be yours. And the Torah spells out the borders. From the Midbar, the desert, Halavonoin, Nahar Pras, the Euphrates River, and then it says, Va'ad hayama achrein. So, the Yam is the sea. Achrein is what? The last one. What does it mean, the last one? And especially in Parshas Masai, when the Torah tells the borders of the land of Israel, it says clearly there, Hayam HaGodel, the big sea. What is the idea of Yam HaAchrein? The last one. So the Rebbe says, if it says Achrein, it means literally the last. What does it mean the last? Because we know in Eretz Yisrael, the Yam, the sea, is actually Yam HaTichoin. It's the middle of the world. It's not the last one. So what does it mean, the last one? So the Rebbe explains that here that Hashem is telling us, any place that you walk, Ha'achrein, not only to the end of the physical borders of the land of Israel, but all over the world, will be yours. Where do we get that? That Yom HaAchrei means the end of the world. Because the Rebbe says we find it when Moshe Rabbeinu was not able to go to the land of Israel. So the end of Parshas Bracha, in Devarim, Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, and he shows him the boundaries of the land of Israel. So it says Ad Yom HaAchrein. So Rashi says, what does it mean Yom HaAchrein? So Rashi says Moshe Rabbeinu was shown by Hashem Yom HaAchrein, the last day, all the future happenings of the Jewish people. So you see there that Yom HaAchrein means to the future till the end of time. So the same thing also, it means till the end of space. Any space that Bnei Yisrael walk, not only in the land of Israel, anywhere in the world, that will be the Jewish people. As we know, when Mashiach comes, Eretz Yisrael, Israel is going to be expanded, its borders literally all over the world. So the answer to the question, why are there Chabads all over the world? Because we're fulfilling the obligation of the Torah to conquer the land, not only the land of Israel, but all over the world. As Jews travel all over the world, they need someone to welcome them, because they're doing God's work by going, as this week's Torah portion says, wherever their feet go, eventually will be ours, part of the land of Israel. So that's why Chabad is all over, to help conquering the whole world, which we ready for when Mashiach comes. We will have expanded borders literally all over the world. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. This week's Torah lesson is dedicated to the memory of Baruch ben Ari Leib, Shlomo ben Yosef, and Rachel bas Lipa. May their souls be elevated by the Torah that we're studying in their memory. Thanks again for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. For more information, please see our website, chabadswf.org. Have a great and blessed week.